Hi there, my name is Vic Veer. I'm an ENT surgeon working for the NHS in central London, and today I want to talk to you about the nasal cycle. Now, some of you may already know about this. The nasal cycle is where your nose decides to breathe from one nostril, and then after 20 minutes, sometimes a few hours, it moves over to the other nostril. And the way it decides to change which nostril mostly to breathe from is using the turbinates in your nose. So maybe I'll put a picture up here at the same time. So here you'll see the midline part of your nose, which is called the septum, the midline partition. And then there are things coming in called turbinates. Now, turbinates increase and decrease in size. There are blood vessels that flow to them. And if the nose needs to slow down the amount of air going through your nose, it expands. And therefore, the air flowing through is meeting more resistance, and therefore it slows it down. The purpose of these turbinates is to warm up and humidify the air inside your nose. And so when it gets into your lungs, it's not so harsh and cold and dry. So these turbinates, which sit a bit like this, like gills or something inside your nose, the air passes through them and they warm up the air and they humidify the air that way. And if the air is going too quickly, then it swells up, causes more resistance, so the air passes over them slower, so that it has time to warm it up. So it has time for the radiator to humidify and warm up the air that's going through. So they work very well. In some abnormal situations, like wearing CPAP, for example, you're pumping air in at a very high rate, more higher than normal, and therefore a lot of people get big swollen turbinates, and that seems to block up their nose. Now, the purpose of this video was about the nasal cycle, because we've found that the turbinates, instead of going like this and coming like this, getting bigger and smaller in unison, they sort of take it in turns like this. This little dance, we don't really know why it does that. It decides to let air come through one side for a few minutes, or 20 minutes to an hour or so, and then it swaps over to the other side. Now, it does change when you're sleeping, because it depends on which side of the bed you're sleeping on. So if you're lying down like this, what tends to happen is this nostril, the one pointing down to the floor, blocks up, and this one opens up. And if you change over to this side, you'll find that the blockage, if you have one, moves over to the other side. So if you're like this side blocks up, and this side opens up, so you can breathe mostly through one side. There's something called an Epy reflex. I think the Americans call it the crutch reflex, where if you put pressure on this area here, if you put pressure inside your armpit or around here like this, so if you're sleeping on this side, it activates this mechanism so that this side blocks up and this side opens up. So if I pressed here or pressed there or put like a crutch, I think, you know, those things where, like a walking stick when you've broken your leg or something, it goes into your armpit here. And when you're walking around, that pressure makes this side feel blocked weirdly. And if you move it to the other side, this side feels blocked. That's what the reflex is called. We call it the Epy reflex. The thing I don't like, however, is when people say, oh, I get blocked on one side and I get blocked on this side, and it's really irritating me. And I've seen some people say to these people, oh, it's the nasal cycle, it's normal, just ignore it. Well, it is the nasal cycle, yes. It gets bigger on one side and the airflow changes. But what is abnormal is that you actually perceive this happening, because in normal people, they don't notice it going left and right. But in some people who have problems with their nose, there's only a little bit of airway left. There's maybe 2 or 3% on one side, 2 or 3% on the other side, and you're just about breathing. And if one side gets blocked up because you're sleeping on this side, you feel completely blocked up, and then you go the other way around. Having a perception of this cycle actually happening is abnormal. What I don't like is when people fob people off and say, oh, look, it's a nasal cycle, there's nothing you can do about it, or it's a normal thing, you shouldn't be worried, everyone has it. It is a normal thing, but it's not normal to perceive it. I think I'm probably labouring that point. There are treatments for all these nasal cycle things if your turbinates are so big that you actually perceive the nasal cycle. So nasal sprays are really useful. So there's a video up about that. So how to use nasal sprays correctly. A lot of people do the wrong thing by spraying up their nose and sniffing it up, or trying to use it only when it's needed. All those things are wrong, obviously. So look at that video, and it tells you how to use your nasal sprays correctly. It stops you from getting the side effects of nasal sprays. And there are other videos about nasal sprays here, there, and everywhere. I hope you found that useful. Bye-bye.